talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are.
Let me go ahead and give you one example. P. Diddy. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Now, not much introduction is going to be needed, so I'm just going to go ahead and get straight to it. Ice Cube exposes the puppet master behind hip hop. So, this video, depending on how many times I talk, we'll see how long it's gonna last. Because when it comes to music, when it comes to hip hop especially, I stopped listening to music. Now, there's a reason behind why I stopped listening to music. Well, actually, the black community is really a prime example as to why I stopped listening to music. Look at the way we act. And you tell me if hip hop has done, if it has brought benefit to the black community. And so, yeah, let's get it.
Cube is known as one of the pioneers of gangster rap in LA. He was a massive influence in the gangster rap scene, as one of the lead rappers a part of the rap collective NWA. NWA is partly responsible for the gangster rap boom that took over the West Coast in the 80s and then the world. Gangster rap evolved over the years, becoming more vulgar, violent, and more dangerous. As its more modern form, drill music has become the rawest version of gangster rap, a genre that has real-life consequences for the rappers a part of it. While gangster rap is a violent genre of music that often glorifies violence, the criminal lifestyle, and even death, those who make it and enjoy it defend it as being an artistic expression of what happens in the most dangerous areas of the country. But what if that's not really the case? What if the origins of gangster rap is actually far more sinister, with a manipulative organization manufacturing gangster rap to use it for their own financial gain? What if gangster rap was created by the greedy elite who are using it to profit from the destruction of the urban communities? Well, this is basically what Ice Cube admitted to. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Well, so prison rappers were running the rap scene. In the 90s, it was gangster rappers like Biggie and Tupac. Then in the 2000s, we had rappers like 50 Cent, DMX, and many others running the industry. I saw the influence of these gangster rappers firsthand. Growing up in the Bronx, just about everyone I knew acted like a gangster rapper. They acted tough and did things to prove they were gangsters. Everyone loved these gangster rappers, and their influence isn't more obvious than it is today with genres like drill music. Drill rappers are the descendants of these gangster rappers. They were influenced by the rappers that were influenced by the rappers that were influenced by Ice Cube.
I mean, okay, maybe he might go further back than that. But when music first, when gangster rap and all of this stuff like that, they were speaking about real stuff. They were talking about the struggle in a black community and how they want change and stuff like that. And so one of the best way that they will express that message is through music. And then of course, like he just said, the elite wanted to go ahead and get a share of that. And so that's what we see today. The elite took care of it. They understood that we cannot allow black people to, get out of their bad situation that they're in. So what did they do? They decide to promote people that are spreading bad messages in the black community. I've spoken about this a lot in my previous video. So if I don't say much about these, just understand that, I don't want to sound like a broken record.
Drill music was always the intended goal of gangster rap, the final form of it. Those who are really behind its success always wanted it to grow into exactly what it has become. Fans and rappers protect gangster rap's image, an artistic expression of what's really going on in the hood. It's not the cause of the violence and trauma, it's a result of it. But when we look at drill music, it's the complete opposite. Drill music is causing the deaths, leading to people dying and mothers crying. Young drill rappers are literally catching bodies in the streets just to be able to rap about it, so they can.
But then again, you have to understand that there are extremely talented rappers out there, and we don't know who these people are. Why? Because this is the message they want to push on the black community. And so when you have a certain message you want to push, and you have upcoming rappers who are, rapping about these certain type of messages, of course there's going to be other upcoming people who sees that. They're like, hey, this is what takes off. This is what puts you in the limelight. And so we have to copy this recipe right here. Talking about what's really going on and how we get out of this situation, it's not going to get us anywhere. It's not going to get us the bread. Rather, we have to talk about gunning each other down, doing drugs, robbing stores, robbing cars, gunning. You see where I'm coming from now?
earn this evil reputation of a murderer to further their persona. This is not a result of what's happening in the hood.
Sorry to pause this so quickly. On top of that, a lot of these people, they don't even, the stuff that they rap about, they haven't even lived it. That's the crazy part.
This is what's causing the destruction in the hood. It's always been like that. In the 2000s, when gangster rap was the most popular form of rap music with rappers like 50 Cent, violence was at an all-time high in the streets. People were inspired by these rappers, and they were influenced to live the lifestyle they promoted. Now, when you realize who was behind making gangster rap so popular and influential, you will understand why drill music was always going to happen. While gangster rap might be partly a result of the struggle of the ghettos and artists from it, the reason it was pushed so heavily by mainstream music is very dark. See, gangster rap was hijacked very early on by billionaire investors who saw it as a great investment that would make them rich. These billionaires were large investors of the private prison industries. What they sold was prison. They made money off people going to prison. Just like every other business in the world, if you want to sell more, you need to advertise and promote. Gangster rap was the most successful marketing strategy for the elite to sell prison, as they were going to use gangster rappers to influence the culture in the most influential marketing campaign ever. Gangster rappers were going to be making wanting to be a criminal desirable. So the elite billionaires invested into the biggest record labels, becoming large shareholders and on the board of directors, using their power to influence what artists are actually signed and what music is promoted by the labels, strategically pushing only gangster rappers in order to promote the gangster lifestyle, while they
So now you understand why there are so many black people in prison? So when they start to argue, oh, there are a lot of black people in prison because they're, naturally they're criminals and it's in their nature to act dangerous in the community. That's why I said in my previous video that if you want to solve a problem, you have to go to the root of the problem. What's causing this? Black people just don't wake up one day and then pick up a gun and just start gunning each other down. There's a reason why this is the case. And I'm going to tell you this. One of the reasons, and I'm going to probably say that this reason plays the majority of, the majority of it is music. The music that we push in the black community is the one that's encouraging the young black to start doing all these heinous crimes that's going to lead them on the path of jail. I'm telling you, listen to music and then watch the way black people act, and it's a mirror. Everything that is being preached in the music, they're acting it out in real life. That's why gangster music is pushed on black community, because they need to fill the prisons up. These people that owns prison, that's the way they make their money back, is they need to have people in prison.
They did sign other style of rappers, most of them were shelved, allowing only the gangster rappers to monopolize hip-hop, music that would influence the youth to throw away their lives and end up in a private prison owned by these elite. That's why little by little, we started seeing all of hip-hop become gangster rap, with every rapper pushing the same exact message in their music, promoting the same garbage. Hip-hop promotes destructive values on purpose. It is done to push this agenda on behalf of these record labels. They have destroyed generation of lives, tricking them into throwing their lives away by rappers who were paid to deceive them.
And you know what else is crazy? It's that these rappers, when they make it out, they move into the suburb. And even though they're living in the suburb, away from the ghetto, they're still making music about, gunning each other's down. Because they understand that that's the only way to bring money in. No rapper is signed when they start talking about real stuff. No rapper is signed when they start talking about how dangerous drug is. No rapper is signed when they start talking about how drugs and gun enters the black community. If they start preaching this type of stuff, nope. Sorry, buddy. We're not going to make a deal with you. We need you to start, preaching about gunning each other down. For the women, we need you to be half naked so you can shake your booty. And, that's how you're going to get signed with us. That's it. That is it.
Something that one of the pioneers of gangster rap admitted to himself. Ice Cube did an interview where he revealed the truth about NWA and gangster rap, how the genre isn't what people think it is, and why it has become such a phenomenon to this very day. According to Ice Cube, gangster rap was controlled by the private prison industries, by billionaire elites who wanted to use it to fill their private prisons. Take a listen to what he said.
Who benefits and profits off our bickering in our division? It's like follow the money. I don't know their names, but you follow the money, you go high enough, you start to see, this is an industry. Okay, let's take rap music.
Let's take it.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons. So
Literally the same people?
literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. So it's really kind of suspicious, if you want to say that word, that the records that come out are really geared push people towards that prison industry.
It didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to ensure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Certain flavors are exposed on the record. No, some records are made by committee, meaning record committee guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. So the narrative is really kind of, structured and really made into what the record company want the record to be, and what a lot of artists are frustrated with this kind of music making. A lot of people, feel like they're being controlled by the label, how they do it, telling you what songs to sing, what hooks to do, what songs, you can do your song, fine, that's an album cut. But the single is what we all say is the single. So you have, the record company pushing the narrative. This to me is somewhat, some social engineering going on here to make sure those prisons stay full. Now, there's a lot of to connect to make that happen. I'm just giving you a broad example of how people at the top can manipulate what's going on with the people who are bickering and fight. I just gave you a music example.
As you can see, Ice Cube admits it himself. Even though he was one of the first gangster rappers ever, he admits that he was used to promote this criminal lifestyle to...
And one more fact that I want to go ahead and push out there, although I don't want to make this seem like it is something that's a race related, but a lot of the record label are owned by white people. So now you have white people who are telling black people what to promote in the music, so that way that can affect the black community, so the black communities can start acting like the way they act, so then they can use that as an excuse to put them in prison. Again, I don't want to make this about race, but I'm just pointing out the fact. I'm not saying all of the record labels. There are some that's owned by black people, but the majority is owned by white people.
Influence the youth to throw away their lives. He admits that the labels would hire full-on writing committees that would make these songs exactly how these elite wanted, pushing the exact messages these executives wanted to promote to the urban community. He also admits how the labels would make sure to only let certain songs out by the labels. The music they know would further push their gangster narrative. Ice Cube isn't just talking nonsense either. I have shown the connection between the private prison industry and the music industry. It's very clear once you see it. Massive investment companies like Vanguard and BlackRock are the biggest investors in the private prison industry.
Who are these owned by? Them boys. I'm just gonna say that. If you want to know who them boys are, well, you just have to watch my other videos, and then you'll find out who them boys are.
They profit the most from prisoners going to prison. These same people who are invested in the private prison industries are also invested in the music industry, investing in companies like UMG, Sony, and Warner, which are the labels that own every major artist. Even though Ice Cube sold out, at least he's telling the truth and not pretending like he doesn't know what he was a part of. He knows what the industry did to his people, how they used him to influence them to destroy their lives. The drill rappers are a perfect example of this influence. They are crashing out because the music indoctrinated them into that lifestyle after years of it being promoted to them. This isn't the first time Ice Cube is exposing the industry, as last year Ice Cube also admitted that the industry was controlled by a secret club of gatekeepers. He was all over social media calling out the gatekeepers in the industry and claimed that he refused to be a part of the Hollywood gatekeepers.
Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their club, that pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are.
Let me go ahead and give you one example, P. Diddy. And now recently, what's his name? Tyler Perry. He's going through the same situation as well. So what's the correlation between these two? P. Diddy has a lot of freak off. If you get invited to the freak off and you go through with the freak off, just understand that you're going to get a massive deal. Maybe in your benefit, may not be in your benefit. Who cares? They already got you on record. You have to sign whatever they give you. And now with the whole Tyler Perry situation that's going on right now, he's getting sued for over $200 million. Why? Because, well, he tried to sign somebody by going through the back door, if you get what I'm saying. You know, that person went to his house. They got drunk, was too drunk to drive. So he said, hey, let me go through the back door and I will make sure that I keep you alive when I write these plays that you're going to be a part of. And by the back door, you know what I mean. I'm talking about that. I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna say it.
A lot of people would be like, what? Who? Come on, man. Stop playing.
And you said the record industry uses social engineering in rap to encourage criminal behavior. At what point did you realize that?
After I got mature in the game. After I knew that, records were made by committee. A lot of albums, a lot of dope songs people like are made by a group of people telling rappers what to say or what's dope or that line ain't good enough or, let's change it to this. Get somebody up here that can write and all this kind of hip hop by committee. And yeah, the record companies, it be they people in there.
While Ice Cube is clearly a puppet of the industry, now he appears to be calling it all out, telling people exactly what's going on behind the scenes.
Not really. If he was actually yes, he's doing some work. But if he opens his mouth too far, they would just get rid of him. He's gonna, he's gonna commit the unalive, is what they're gonna say, or he's gonna overdose on drug. Yeah, the usual lines.
He was also one of the very few actors who turned down the 2020 shot back when they were trying to force everyone to take it. In this interview, he speaks out against it and stands strong on saying that he wasn't going to take it.
Pass out a movie because they wanted you to get a shot.
Yeah, they strangest thing, say we're doing a movie. I'm like, okay. And then all the producers in Hollywood decided that they don't want anybody on their movie set that haven't gotten a.
And what year was this?
This is 2020.
Okay, so it's in the middle of it.
Yeah. We're coming out of it. I think it might be 21 when we know, okay, everything is going back to normal. But I believe the news came out during 2020. And so, I never thought it was a producer's mandate. I thought it was a studio mandate. But it's every production. You mean tell me every producer in Hollywood has this mandate? Give me a break. It has to come from the studio to hit every producer because every producer don't think the same. Producers talking to my people and they're like, if he don't take it, he can't be in the movie. It's not taking it. It's like, okay, can't do the movie. Okay, no problem.
It's horrible what these elites have done with hip-hop. They have infiltrated it and used it to destroy the urban communities. So many mothers and fathers were left grieving, with their child's death being directly tied to this manufactured genre. It was truly demonic what they did. The music industry is the most powerful tool of the devil. He has hijacked it and used it to destroy so many souls. No one seems to realize how evil the industry truly is. They all just blindly support it. They don't connect the dots for themselves. This has done real damage, irreversible damage to the generation. It turned a whole generation into lost souls. All we can do is try our best to wake the people up, show them what's going on, so they can avoid being consumed by this manipulation. Well, I'm gonna end this one here.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. So that's one of the reasons why I don't listen to music. And you would never see me reacting to a new music that Kendrick drop, or Drake, or Nicki Minaj, all these rappers. I don't like the music anyways. And so, yeah, music has been turning into something that is a dangerous weapon. The vibration, the frequency, all that is calculated. It opens up certain parts of the brain in order for you to, receive subliminal messages. If you don't know what that is, they put ideas in your brain that later you're going to, act these ideas out and assume that it's your idea. In conclusion, it's like the devil is constantly whispering in your ear. That's what it comes down to. Kanye West. He recently made a song. Not recently, but he made a song called Hell. That was the name of his song. And the reason why he made this song is simply because he said that they were, the label owners, they were able to make money off of black trauma. And when he says that, he's talking about the music. So they use music to make money off of black people. And so he decided to make the song Hell. Why? Because, well, he wanted to make money off of their trauma. And that's what I mean when I say the music label is mostly owned by the boys. With that being said, I'll catch you guys up later.